This is the Intex Ultra XTR frame above ground swimming pool. And honestly, having it set up right in front of me, I can say it's an impressive sight. Big, sturdy, and modern. It's a round pool, quite imposing with that 18-foot diameter and standing tall at 52 inches, which right off the bat makes it feel more like a real swimming experience compared to cheaper, shorter above-ground pools. The look it gives my backyard is surprisingly premium, almost like it's trying to upgrade the whole space, not just offer a spot to cool off. With the graphite-colored frame and the blue tile print liner inside, it actually looks inviting rather than just functional. Let me share how this pool felt from the moment I unboxed it. I'll admit, before setting it up, I kept worrying it would be a hassle. There's always that thought in the back of my mind with large DIY projects, you know? Maybe the frame wouldn't fit together right, or I'd end up with lopsided walls. Or, worst case, find out something's missing. But with the Intex Ultra XTR frame, things went much smoother than expected. The Easy Lock System. This is basically Intex's way of letting you snap the whole frame together without needing special tools or hardware. Actually lived up to its name for me. The frame comes with parts that just click into place, so there's no awkward hammering, and the round band that goes around to support the structure makes it easier to keep things even. Sure, the whole system is heavy, and I did need a hand moving things into place, but once it's together and filled with water, the sturdiness is very noticeable. From my experience, actually swimming and hanging out in this pool has been awesome. There's a ton of space, even with several people inside. I've had friends over, kids splashing around, rafts floating, and still felt like nobody's bumping into each other. The 52-inch height is something I never really appreciated until using a taller pool. It genuinely makes swimming feel less cramped, and diving, carefully, underwater feels pretty natural. I think if you want something the family can grow into, or if you love hosting backyard get-togethers, this size is perfect. On the technical side, one of the key features is that 3-ply liner. For anyone new to these things, the liner is basically the flexible material that holds all the water inside the frame. With cheaper pools, it can feel flimsy or start to show wear fast. This 3-ply setup feels thick and confidence-inspiring, and I've noticed it doesn't discolor easily, thanks to the blue tile design. And that's not for nothing. Pools with lighter liners often start looking dingy after a few weeks, but mine stays bright, which I appreciate. The pool also comes with a crystal-clear sand filter pump. In simple terms, sand filters use actual sand to clean the water, as opposed to cheaper cartridges that often get clogged or need swapping out frequently. For me, once I got used to backwashing it, that's just running water backward through the filter to clean it out, maintenance actually got way easier than with those cheaper pumps. I do a backwash about once every week or two, depending on how much stuff ends up in the pool. The filter keeps water nice and clear, and it feels like the whole setup is made to last at least a couple of seasons without fuss. Other things included in the box are a ladder, ground cloth, cover, and a maintenance kit. The ladder is sturdy, and importantly, tall enough to actually fit the 52-inch pool without any awkward stretching to get in or out. The cover and ground cloth are pretty self-explanatory, but help with keeping things clean and protecting the bottom from sharp rocks or sticks. The little details, like the sleeves for the legs and the pop-in top connectors, really help keep the whole frame steady and prevent annoying wobbling. One aesthetic feature I really noticed is how clean the lines of the pool are. There aren't any big gaps around the frame, no windows in the side, which I've heard can leak, and the way the legs fit into their sleeves means nothing feels loose or ill-fitted. The finish just feels much more put together than some of the other above-ground pools I've checked out before. I think anyone worried about the pool looking cheap in the yard won't have that problem here. What I love most, and this has really become obvious over the summer, is just how much this pool feels like a real investment, not a temporary fix. The spaciousness, the way it handles a crowd, and the ease of keeping the water clean all add up. For someone who's new to above-ground pools, things like cleaning the filter and balancing chemicals might seem intimidating, but the Intex Ultra XTR frame system makes it about as hassle-free as it gets for this price point. I also appreciate the straightforward design. It's no nonsense, just a solid pool. Now, on the flip side, there are a few pain points. The biggest for me was definitely the weight and initial setup. This is not a one-person job. You absolutely need a flat, packed-down surface for the pool. I learned that the hard way with some uneven ground and had to redo it, which was a pain. If you set it up on a lumpy area, the liner's lifespan is probably going to take a hit, and you'll be fighting with water that tries to slosh out one side. It's just a big commitment on setup day. So I'd recommend budgeting extra time and maybe recruiting a friend or two. Also, once you fill it, moving it is not an option, so really pick your spot carefully. Another thing, even though the sand filter is excellent for general use, I have seen people mention that if you run the pool hard, like hosting big parties frequently, or if you live in a super dusty area, you might want to consider upgrading to a bigger pump down the line. I haven't needed to yet, but keep it in mind depending on your use. And, like with every above-ground pool, the liner is the most vulnerable part. While it's tougher than many others, you can probably expect to need a replacement every 8 to 10 years if you care for it well. In conclusion, the Intex Ultra XTR Frame 18 by 52-inch above-ground swimming pool truly stands out as one of the most satisfying purchases I've made for backyard fun and relaxation. It's perfect for families, social types, or anyone who wants maximum value out of an above-ground pool with a real sense of sturdiness and style. From my experience, the easy assembly, durability, and the fun factor it brings outweigh any setup hassles. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants their backyard to feel like a getaway all summer, without breaking the bank or losing weekends on complicated maintenance. I will update specific information about the Intex Ultra XTR Frame above-ground swimming pool in the comments. Don't forget to catch my next video.